It's so nice to have the two of you on. Now that you're movie stars, you're all over the place. It must have been quite an experience. Maybe you can share a little bit about your participation in the Warren Miller movie.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. It was pretty surreal. It's a film that we both have been watching almost our entire lives since we were kids, going out to see these awesome Warren Miller ski movies, and to be a part of one was an incredible experience, very humbling, and to represent Sugarloaf, to represent Maine, to represent Amalgam. It was a lot of unrealized pressure, and but the whole thing came out so well. The production crew of Warren Miller, it's a very small crew, and they're really amazing folks, really down-to-earth, amazing people, and talented. And to see the whole film come together was a really neat experience.
Passionate about the sport as well. Phil, how did they, I know I had asked you this, we were talking at the tree lighting, how did they find you and pick you?
Well, they had the director that has been, one of the directors, Chris Patterson, who's been making the films for Warren Miller for quite a while, had been brainstorming with Seth Westcott about trying to do a story about Sugarloaf in Maine over the years, because Seth's an athlete for Warren Miller. And last year, the stars kind of all aligned where they had the timing and the resources to get here to the East Coast. And Chris had reached out and asked us if we'd be willing to participate, show kind of our product and our process, and show Sugarloaf as well in Maine. And unfortunately, Seth was in BC, so he couldn't make it for the Maine edition. But ourselves and Winterstick, we all kind of pooled together and tried to put our best foot forward for the Warren Miller audience.
You had some good conditions that day, I hope?
We did.
Yeah.
We actually lucked out. There was soft conditions, and we skied a couple of days on the hill with the film crew, but we had a really nice soft day over in Brackett Basin, which was a lot of fun.
Fantastic. You got into the basin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And there was 4 or 5 inches of fresh snow on top of a decent base. So we tried our best to make it look as awesome as it is.
Yeah. And speaking of awesome, look at that website.
Oh,
That is beautiful. Look at that.
Amy's new website.
Yep.
Amy retooled the website this fall.
Now take it. What is that with the scenic artwork on it?
So that's our backcountry touring ski.
Yeah.
Tell us
Jamie
about that.
Walter's little moose there
Yeah.
is on there trucking along through the environment. But so that's our touring profile that we designed, I think, in 2020.
Yeah, we released it at when the pandemic hit, which was a opportune moment for backcountry skiing, unrealized.
Right.
Backcountry skiing's really taken off a lot in the last 2 years with the pandemic, but
So
it's the Keyway is the name of it.
It's the Keyway. It's 9,600 foot. It's an extrapolation of our Artifact, which is by far our most popular East Coast ski. It's got a fair amount of rocker in the tip and tail. Still has camber underfoot. One of the really cool things about it, in my opinion, is the core is made out of Maine spruce. So it's all spruce wood harvested out of Maine, and spruce has kind of a cool history of being used for composites and aircrafts and stuff like that. So it's a light wood that still has reasonable mechanical properties with respect to stiffness. And then we added in some unique composites as well, some carbon fiber and some other structural glass. So it ends up in being a nice light profile, but still has a nice flex for getting down as
And
well.
most of your skis, do you put the bindings on them? This one here is come like that, or do you fully equip them?
We give the option to the customers. A lot of times we just focus on selling the ski and the model, but if people want bindings, we work with a local shop, untracked.com in North Yarmouth, and they basically have any binding underneath the sun. And customers that are interested in bindings, I get their boot sole length, bring the skis over there, get the bindings. Their ski technicians mount them,
Mm-hmm.
do the final adjustment, just like we did with Jesse's skis.
Bam.
And yeah, skiers are ready to go,
You're
ready for snow.
to go. So that website, very nicely done.
Thank
and
you.
It pops. That's great.
Yeah, thanks.
Is that the best place to order the skis right there?
It's where a lot of people like start the process, but it's usually a conversation that most people want to have about like what length, what model, what's going to be right for them, and that's also part of the process that we really enjoy too, getting to know them, getting to know us getting to know them as a skier, and it's really a conversation for most folks. There's certainly people that know what they want and purchase right off the website.
Right.
There's kind of a form you fill out based off of the model, and that email sends an email directly to us, and we respond. So it's really a very close relationship that we all have.
I think that's very cool. Try that with Stokely. So you can
Yeah.
get them on the phone, talk about your skis.
Yeah, you can also, our phone number's on the website, so you can dial that if
Yep.
hands aren't full of ski equipment and hearing protection on. Occasionally,
Yes.
I'll pick up the phone, but oftentimes I miss it, so emails do work well. But you can certainly give us a call as well, and
Yeah.
it's I kind of like talking to people rather than trying to type out my thoughts.
Sure.
It's more efficient.
As you're making their skis, you're kind of thinking about them.
Yeah, always.
It's
Always
really
thinking
cool.
about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Amalgam Skis is doing very well. And how long is the wait for a pair of skis?
Yeah, good question. We're basically taking orders right now for another batch that Phil's about to build. So
Yep. We're into April for delivery at this
Oh,
point.
good. For spring skiing, yeah.
So we've spring skiing, or it's just possibly next year as well. Who knows how long the spring will last? But we've kind of gotten to a point where got our manufacturing where we're just doing batch sets. So we'll collect a whack of orders and then build them all at once.
That makes sense doing it all in a batch, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we've kind of developed that through the COVID period, and we're going to stick with it. And we're actually fortunate enough that we've got enough orders that we're going to be doing another batch here for this over the winter, so it'll be good.
Fantastic. So
Yeah.
you can get in touch, order yours, and be a happy person like Jesse.
It's not too late. We're still taking orders for this next build. We're probably going to close those off middle to end of this month.
Now, will you be at the big movie debut?
we will today, 2:00 at the Rack.
2 o'clock at the Rack,
Absolutely.
and you'll be signing autographs, shaking hands, taking orders, and there are tickets available still, I believe.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And Winter Stick will also be there, as well as Dan Egan, who
Right.
most people may know around here. He's a
White
legendary.
Haze, sharing his
extreme-
story about an
Yeah.
epic story. I don't want to give it all away, but
Yeah.
he will be there live and in person. Yeah, all the stars will be there. Why wouldn't you be there? 2 o'clock at the Rack and check it out. And look at that. We got a little sample there
Yeah.
on Low Tide Road. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great little shot of Maine at the beginning here. There's a cool segment of going out on Casco Bay on our friend's lobster boat, and there's some good shot pics and
Misery Whip.
me chasing Amy around the mountain, trying to
that's-
keep up.
That's special. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Happy skiers.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, listen, we appreciate you joining us, and congratulations on your success, and thank you for your sponsorship here on WSKI TV. We proudly display that Amalgam ski.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And boy, a lot of people have seen that ski on set. And if you want to go to the website and check it, you can own your own. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
Thanks for
Greg.
being here. We appreciate it. And we'll see you down at the big movie showing at 2 o'clock at the Rack. All right. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.